What's happening, Wafflenomics people? I'm not in the best of moods. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not feeling the hottest right now, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit more conservative today. Uh, wow, that happened. Uh, it, ugh. Hope is a funny little thing in it. Hope is a funny little thing. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, man. If this was live right now, Wolfie will be cooking me right now. Wolfie will be deep frying me at the steak. I would be medium well. I would be that man full time medium well. You know what I'm saying? Full time steak, full time tenderloin, bro. I would have been mincemeat at this stage, bro. And it's tough. It's tough to take. It's tough to take. I'm gonna be real. This is disappointing. The whole hallmark of this game and the past few games has been disappointing. And no, I'm not taking off my damn glasses. Just be keeping it here. Don't worry about that, man. Can't you see I'm in a mournful mood? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, console me in the comments, please. You know what I'm saying? Send me some well wishes, bro, in the comment section below, for real. But the hallmark of these past few games has been disappointment. I'll kind of go backwards and lead up to the City game and stuff. Liverpool was, again, I say a hard earned point given the situation. West Ham, 2 points dropped, not good enough. Really had that game under control, and it was just, bro. You know what it is? Each of those games from Liverpool all the way to City, it felt like, you know, the evolutionary scale, when like the fish come out the water and it turns to a monkey, it turns to a man, and all that stuff like that. It felt like we was moonwalking back down that scale, and we're just going back into the trench times of Arsenal Football Club. Liverpool was a hard-earned point at Anfield. I would have never expected. I'm like, yo, that's a manly performance right there. Okay, that's what's up. West Ham, 2-0 lead, bottled that lead. Again, we didn't have the facilities, even without the injuries and all that stuff like that. I don't want to speak on that right now. I'll get to it later, but even with the 2-0 performance we put in, we still conceded 2 and drew at West Ham. Okay, we're hunched back a little bit. We're kind of, moving back towards the water. What's happening here? Southampton, we get embarrassed in that first half, just all over the place, all over sorts, and we come back 3-3. Cool, but I'm just so mad at it, bro. At this point, we're prone. We're doing this. We're on the floor. We're Solid Snake and Metal Gear Solid. We're doing all this extraness, bro. And by the time we get to City, they might as well just drown us and turn us into fish. They might as well cut our sides open and make gills, because they just threw us back in the water. Whatever. It just felt like it was complete steps back from what we built on, you know what I'm saying, in the run this season. It's pardon me, let me fix my, you know what I'm saying, they fixed my depression coat. Excuse me. But it was just a combination of a lot of different things. And then to speak to this whole run, first and foremost, yes, the injuries did take a toll on the squad. I don't care what anybody says. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I don't think it's an excuse, but it is a reality of the situation. With a squad that is not as deep, and I've said this before, you know what I'm saying? You can quote me on it. You know what I'm saying? What's it called? Having a squad that isn't as deep is going to cause problems in multiple competitions. I want to get all of them, but I know that our depth is not as good to sustain, a war on all fronts, so to speak. So when we see our first 11, they only played about 6 or 7 times. Our best 11, our strongest 11 that we played that hasn't lost a match, has only played 6 times this season. That's nowhere good enough. That's nowhere consistent enough, and that's a tough toll for us to adjust to. Again, we've made adjustments in the past, with, again, the Trossards and the Nketiahs and the Jorginhos for a certain amount of time, but when it came at such a really big hit to 2 in the same position, we can't even play our right center back properly, and we have to rely on Rob Turkish Hairline's holding. We can't do that, bro. Listen, I got respect for bro because he plays for my favorite club. I got love for him, but we got to call a spade a spade. He cannot play. He can't. Post ACL, he's been a finished player. If we're going to keep it a stack, on that, I don't want to blame all the issues on him, because not all on him, but the fact of us playing a high line, we need somebody to recycle the ball, be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? If stuff comes over the top, we need you to be quick, decisive, really, really strong. He was none of those things for like half of those performances. And it just got more apparent as those games went on. So that's a flaw. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't adjust to it because we just didn't have the depth and we didn't have the ability to adapt. Now, the other thing is one thing I will say. The inability or the let's say the staunch mentality of Arteta not changing his system, not changing his lineup, sticking by certain people, even though they might not be the best people for the job. That is an unfortunate flaw that I think Arteta will come to understand he might need to change in the future. I understand he said this in an interview. He was like, "Oh yeah, this is the thing that got you principled. This is the thing that got you, this, that, and the third, all that good stuff." You know what I'm saying? This is the stuff that brought us to the dance. Cool, I get that, understandable. But when you're dealing with something as fragile as a first 11 who doesn't have that linchpin anymore, who doesn't have that person that makes the rest of your system tick, when there's so many knock-on effects of White has to come here, Partey has to do multiple jobs, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Gabriel has to come here. White can't even feed Saka the way he usually does in other games. Then the question has to be asked, how do you adapt? How do you adjust? You know what I'm saying? How do you make do with all that stuff to be approachable, to maintain control? And I felt like Arteta was forcing the button and it just didn't work. And the whole kind of got wider and wider and wider until we got to City. And then they just broke down. They broke through the whole, you know what I'm saying? The whole glass thing, like Braun Breaker. They broke through the brick wall. You know what I'm saying? Like they did everything. They did everything perfectly, and credit to them because they're a fantastic team. They are. That's what they do. They're one of the best in Europe. Literally, probably the best team in Europe standing right now on paper. Pep is ridiculous. The way he coached, again, Haaland to have a full link-up game, De Bruyne to get in behind spaces, you know what I'm saying? Like really quick and sharp on counterattacks and transitions. Like it's hard. And they blew us away in that first half, and we didn't turn it around until Reece Nelson came on, honestly. Until Reece Nelson and Trossard came on. So disappointment. I really thought we would at least make ourselves accounted for despite the injuries and lack of system, but it's a sense of naivety, and it was a sense of sometimes it felt like a lack of self-belief in the squad. Like, even though it was tough, man, like, yo, you guys gotta come find a way, grind through. It looked like there was twice as many Man City shirts on that pitch. They just wanted to play it backwards, and then they got played out. So I would say it is disappointing overall, bro. You can speak on it, bro. You can speak on the Viking, you know what I'm saying, took down his hair, you know what I'm saying, like he was Hunter Hearst Holland, bro. Like he was the Norwegian Triple H. Came through and just scored a goal on a head tops in the last minute to break the record. You can say what you want. Outstanding player. I got nothing against it. I'm gonna be real. It's just a sign of the times. It really is. They're a ridiculous team that got even more ridiculous with that addition. And on top of that, KDB, literally probably the best midfielder in Premier League history. If you're going to keep it a stack, you know what I'm saying? That is probably pound for pound the best midfielder in Premier League history, doing what he does best. You can't credit the quality, you can't credit the approach, and the fact that they adapted, the fact that they changed specifically and made game plans specifically for us, and we couldn't adjust to what they were doing, or we didn't have any contingency to change how we played, because our form going into it, our outlook going into it was not good enough. We needed to tweak something. We needed to make a slightly different approach. I know maybe not an entire system change, but maybe a slight personnel change. Maybe to make something happen. Maybe to again have somebody suggested have Tierney instead of Zinchenko start, so we'd be able to provide maybe more threat in the transition because we won't get as many chances. But that didn't happen. We tried to force that button. We tried to force to play our way. We did stick to our guns, but we didn't pull the damn guns out the holster. We got shot before we even did anything. So it's like it's a tough mix of emotions. I'm gonna be real, and I've been actually pretty composed the whole way through. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was down for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I was there. It sucks. My hope of winning a title is quite literally on the same percentages we have on the rest of the predictors. It's like 8% or less, probably like 3 now. But I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna speak in context of all this stuff. Yeah, we can blame, you know what I'm saying, whatever things in there, but to speak in the microcosm that is this run, these past few games, we just didn't maintain composure. This is the run where you're supposed to handle business, where you're supposed to really, really see it through. Whatever the outlook of it. You can't just be fragile if one person drops out of a team. That's regardless. Again, I understand our situation, but if you want to be champions, no matter that outlook, you have to grind out results. You have to make it. You have to do what you can do to win. You can't give up. You can't give up. You have to adjust, and you got to fight. They making me emotional now. I'm joking. I had to burp, but you know what I'm saying. It's all good. But I just felt like this was. It just felt like City felt like Newcastle last season. We were coming down off of a really good period. Again, key injuries were missing, and we just didn't have enough within us in that current moment to fight, to really show the fight that we're capable of. And that's tough. That's disappointing to take. But it's not the end of the world. The silver lining about Newcastle last season for Arsenal fans is we wouldn't get this season without that season. You know what I'm saying? I think the success of a season should be judged on future platforms and where you get to in future arenas. It's not completely, again, trophies do count for that. Trophies at the be all end all are a measure of success, probably the biggest measure of success, but I don't think it's the only one. For clubs that are, again, not going to be, always in that top shout, for clubs that are in the trenches sometimes, you need that marker of, okay, how good are you building your squad? How much are you making it better? Are you stagnating? What are you doing to improve that stuff? How are these performances? Can you sustain this thing on multiple fronts? There's a lot more that goes into success than, I think meets the eye. So there's not me trying to, damage control nothing. Cause I'll say it we slipped up. We showed our naivety and inexperience, and it did cost us. And now the title's pretty much all but City's. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. But I will say is, for the people that have been saying, "Oh, this is Arsenal's only chance. This is Arsenal's only chance. Top four are all going to strengthen next year." Please rewind the clocks one year when all of you Neanderthals literally said, "Oh, Arsenal's not going to make." They're probably not even going to make top four. They're not going to make top four. When most of you predicted us to not make top four this season, and we've breezed past every single one of you, bar City. I just want that to be known before we throw shots at anybody. Before y'all, you throw all the shots you want. Say what you will, but not a single one of you have replicated or have come close to replicating. Bar Liverpool. I'll give Liverpool the pass because they're the only ones that went toe to toe with City over the past few years. We're the second team to go toe to toe with City, actually, over a Premier League season like this. Aside from them, let me know, please let me know. How close have y'all come to a title against City like that? Please. A pep side like this. Please. Just let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know. Cool. But a team that was 8th, literally a team from 8th jumped to a 2-horse race for the title. The youngest team in the league, or the second youngest team in the league. Listen, if anybody's writing us off for the next few years, that's where you guys are actually smoking fairy dust. That's where y'all smoking fairy dust, man. Straight Reggie, like something. Y'all are on whatever they was doing in the 80s, bro. The prime Coke. You know what I'm saying? Not the drink. You know what I'm saying? You need to hold that. So all I'm saying is, it's tough to take, but this will be a chip on the shoulder that fuels us to be more ruthless. I think it will be the chip on the shoulder that fuels us to be more, I guess, composed. Understand the job that we need to do, not just for the players, but also for Arteta, because Arteta has lessons that he has to learn too. This is his first job, cool, and I'm not copping out. Again, he made a mistake, and that's what cost us points. Just as much as the players, he made mistakes that cost us points and put us in a situation and didn't adapt to changes fast enough. That got us in a situation. Cool. But he's also one of the main people that brought us to this point where we can even say we're in a title challenge and nobody else is bar City. There's a lot of things to consider, but I'm not gonna lie. If it's me, coming from where we've been in the trenches, I know we have a lot more in store for us. So again, Arsenal fans, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? Dust yourself off. Pick yourself up. It's gonna be a tough one. Cry, put your Drake songs on in the background, shed some tears, do what you do. Get back up though. Get back up, because we got a lot of stuff coming in the future. The future's bright. And if we're as ruthless as things are starting to be advertised as, if we are as proactive as things are starting to be advertised as, we're set to not only challenge, but consistently take City to the limit if we're playing our cards right in the transfer market, if we're making the right moves tactically, if Arteta's growing in the ways that we think he is, because he's done, a pretty good job so far. I think we're in store for some good stuff. So, City, fair play. Y'all power bombed us. Y'all package power drived us. Y'all threw us down a flight of stairs like, what's it called? Brock Lesnar and that one-legged kid. Kudos. Y'all are a super team. I can't even, I throw my hands up, bro. It is what it is. It was nice leading most of the league while it lasted for most of the game weeks. It's cool. Tough. But if you think this is the last of Arsenal Football Club being in these challenges for the next few seasons, you're wrong, bro. You wrong. And I hope we buy Declan Rice so Wolfie's mad. That's all I got.